Farage Nigel Paul, Reform UK, 21,000.
This Labour government will be in trouble very, very quickly. We will now be targeting Labour votes. We're coming for Labour, be in no doubt about that. I want to thank the team that have helped me do this over the last few weeks, my fellow candidates for behaving as impeccably as they have. Believe me, folks, this is just the first step of something that is going to stun all of you. Thank you very much.
It was such an incredible night. I was actually doing the BBC's coverage, ITV coverage that night, and I saw those results come in, the exit poll. I couldn't believe my eyes, and of course we got our members of parliament elected. It was a sensational night, really sensational, and we made history, we continue to make history, and that is what we are continuing to do today. Let's go over to see Jeremy Kyle again. I wonder where you are now. JK, where are you?
See, I took your advice, DB. Freezing cold, blowing a gale on the south coast. So we've come into the very nice Cafe Nero. All other coffee shops are brilliant. And this is very interesting for me because a lot of people will say, what sort of people sign up for Reform? Are these disaffected Tories? Afternoon Joe, tell them your story because this was a Labour voter.
Yeah, historically, coming from Liverpool in the northwest, my family always voted Labour, and I switched to Conservative Party when I fell out of favour with what Labour were saying they were going to do policy-wise and everything else, and a few issues around, operational stuff with the military and everything else. I thought, you know what, I'll move to the Conservatives, which I did, and now the next voting opportunity I'll certainly be moving across to Reform.
You're here today and you're going to sign up, which is big news, and I think it's a really important story. An ex-Labour voter, the party of the working man and woman. People are saying now that Reform is the party of the working man and woman. What is it about Nigel and the gang that has sort of garnered your interest?
I just think the statements in terms of the policies, and all politicians make policy statements, and they've all broken them. So it's got to a point now where I like the strength of what he's saying. I like the fact that what he's targeting now actually needs to be considered, because we've lost control of many, many things. And I think at some point you have to invest in people who you believe will sort the mess out. And I firmly believe that's going to happen under this party.
Fantastic. Well, listen, we're going to get you signed up. I'm going to do my challenge Anik a bit. But listen, somebody grab a pen and paper because this man is the reason that this country is going to change. And Frankie the dog. Yes, now come with me.
I thought I'd bring part two to this. I got cut off the internet last time. Well, not off of many of the platforms last time. So, all right. This is part two to the whole Reform Party over in the UK. I'm seeing a lot of countries that are going more nationalistic and more Christian, actually.
Come with me, quick. Are you following me?
They want to get rid of all the illegals in our country.
Come on. Here's our Trace. Trace has been sat for hours. You didn't get me a coffee. How are you, love?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Tell me, sat here in a coffee shop in Christchurch, out of a gale, why are you a Reform voter?
Well, I think the governments that we've had in the last few decades have not really done what they said they were going to do, and I think Reform, maybe they can do it. So that's why I would vote for Reform.
And in terms of, your peer group, your friends, your neighbours, what is the feeling? Because, of course, on a national level, you'll see it in the newspapers, Reform has been leading in all those polls. But what do your mates say?
They think the same as I do.
Have you signed up?
No, I haven't.
Well, you need to, because I'm trying to win $5,000 here. There's got to be something for doing this job. Can I take you outside? That didn't sound right. Can I get you signed up if I send somebody?
Yes.
Are you sure? Right. So that's Bob. Right. Listen. So that's Bob from Liverpool, who used to be a Labour voter. Tracy, who's had how many coffees have you had?
Just the one.
You going down the pub now?
Maybe.
Dreadful attitude. We'll get her signed up. Let's go and see the people. Come with me. So challenge Annika, isn't it? Oh, hello. Look at this. It's a long way to Tipperary. It's ruin it. Come on me.
I'm overlapping a little bit of what
Why are you? Look at this. Look. You're right.
Sure
Won't look.
Exactly where it cut off, so I was trying to pick up where it left off.
Terrified. Oh, here we go. Right.
Yeah,
Listen,
right,
you lot. I've been actively. Listen.
and I want to help promote it.
You're drinking coffee, and I've been in there signing people up. Right, this man here. There's a excuse me. Come on out. Go and get some people. What's your name?
John.
John, are you? Have we signed you up today?
I've already a member.
Already a member. Why is reform the answer? He says, freezing cold again.
Because they're just common sense policies that everyone can relate to. They're not a clown government like we've got at the moment.
How old are you? Am I allowed to ask that?
I'm retirement age almost.
It's amazing. People are. I'm 60. You're older than that, right?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, listen, on a serious note, we've all seen all sorts of governments. The argument, the uniparty, one lot in, one lot out. But actually, there seems to be a feeling in this country that change is coming.
It's got to, isn't it? Because we've had the Tories, 14 years of Tory rule. They've done really the job of Labour. Well, we've just had mass immigration, and the country's going to the dogs. And then you've got the Labour, just got it worse and worse and worse. It's just got to end. We'll get reform in, save the country.
It is really deep. The deep state is real deep. And it's not just the politicians. It's a lot of the people they put into the offices of these agencies and stuff.
What do you say to the people who say, oh, look what happened in Caerphilly and, tactical voting, everybody will do whatever they can to make sure this doesn't happen. Do you think the groundswell is going to be so strong?
Well, the groundswell will be strong. It's getting stronger every day. And by the time the next election comes, which hopefully...
I've just signed 3 people up in Cafe Nero. I know what you're talking about.
This is it. They're not going to get another election in...
The AfD's doing real well in Germany, too. That's a party that wants to get rid of all the illegal immigration there, too. Look what happened in Italy and stuff like that.
2029. I'm sure it's going to be before then. The way the country's going down.
I think it'll be before 2029.
It's got to be.
Well, I think we're on the edge.
It's just getting worse and worse every day. And more.
Your hair's blonder than mine, and you're older than me.
It's grey, I think.
Right, listen, get active. I've said, look at this lot, right? These are very good, hard-working people, but all they do is have coffee and have a chinwag. Come on, Tracy's signing up. Hello, sir. How are you? Are you signing up?
I am. Yeah.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, tell me why you're signing up today.
Crikey, I watch you on TV all the time.
Good man, excellent.
How are you?
Sorry, before you give your details over, I wouldn't trust him, by the way, if we take money out your bank account. Why are you signing up to Reform?
Well, because I think they're a sensible party. You know what they're talking about. And I love Nigel Farage.
You love Nigel Farage?
Yeah.
Could you say I love David Bull as well?
I love David Bull as well, yeah. Is he here, though?
No, he's not here. No, he's in, like, the mothership. I've been relegated...
Do you live in Milford?
Well, it doesn't matter where I live. I've been relegated to a reporter. I'm running around like a headless chicken.
You're doing well.
I'm doing well, am I?
Yeah.
Do you think I could do this for a living?
Definitely.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to take my massive bus now and I'm going to somewhere called Ringwood. What's your name again?
Chris.
That's Chris. That's 4 people. Oh, hello, darling. What's your name?
My name's Jan.
Jan, you're about to sign up.
Yeah.
Tell me why, seriously.
Because my friend, I believe in it, because my friend tells me all about it and I believe in it.
It's going to make
it... I believe in reform.
She believes in reform.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's good to hear. David, on a serious note, listen, I was at that bloody group. Come here. Thank you very much. Keep signing. Look at this. I'm going to leave you with this. Amazing. All sorts of people signing up. And it's just a case of getting out and talking to people and saying to them, why do you believe change is coming? We're going to hop on the bus. We're going to head off to Ringwood, do the same. But for all the activists here in Christchurch and all the people, just total respect. You can just feel it. Something's happening. We'll pass back to you. I know we can't do a two-way, but I think you're looking lovely. Bye.
Not as lovely as you, JK. Thanks ever so much indeed. So just bringing you the latest numbers. When we went on air, we had 262,000 members. We've put on another 784 members. Remember, we've already surpassed the Conservative Party. Now, the Labour Party pretends they have 309,000 members. We don't believe them. They've taken their ticker down because we believe that we have actually overtaken them so far. But let's see. Let's go with their game plan at 309,000. That's why actually every single member counts, because we have to prove that we are the largest party in this country. So from Jeremy Carl, let's now go over to Andrea Jenkins, who's in Gainsborough in Lincolnshire. Good afternoon, Andrea.
Hi, David. It's very hard to hear you, but can you see we've got lots of members here?
I can, Andrea.
I've even got my Clifford. My little one has been coming up to everyone saying, become a Reform member. So now you've disappeared off the screen now.
If they are,
Right.
I don't understand.
There you
all
are.
the
There you are. Brilliant.
boomers that are leftists now. I don't get it.
So we've been signing
tell me
people up,
what's the
David, and
Especially in America.
yeah, I'd say probably 99.9% of people are supportive, which is wonderful.
And just in terms of that, Andrea, when you go up to people, are they keen to listen? Will they talk about the country, their frustrations with what's going on in this country, what they want to see change?
I mean, it's funny you should say that, because we spoke to two people at the front here on a chair, and they wanted to come and join for the broadcast. David.
Well, there you go.
Join for the party. Absolutely. So we've got people who we just met in the street who wanted to join.
And are you surprised by actually what you are seeing?
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely, David. It's the two-party system's dead, as we already thought, and people wanting reform now. And David, Superman. We thought Christopher Reeve was dead. Well, we've got our very own Lincolnshire councillor, Christopher Reeve. Where are you, Christopher?
Hi, David. We meet again.
We do indeed.
It's
really
a
good to see you.
Hey, stop it. Yeah.
Well, really good to see you, Christopher. Christopher, can I just ask you, just in terms of your feeling on the ground, what are people saying? What's the atmosphere like? Are people receptive to the message?
Very much so, yeah. People are fed up of shouting at the TV and screaming at the radio. We're giving people a chance to join the party and take some positive action towards getting the changes that's needed. Get Starmer and the Labour Party out, get those guys in there. They're really taking the opportunity to heart and saying, we've had enough. We're not sitting back no longer. We're not being the silent majority any longer. Got another of our county councillors here, Paul Whitmhurst.
Afternoon, David. How are we doing?
And he campaigned against Scampton being housed for migrants, so is a top chap.
That's an excuse for it.
Of course, that's RAF Scampton. Well done. Congratulations on that. So, Andrea, there's £5,000 to play for here. So, obviously, the branch that signs up the most number of members will get that £5,000. Are you feeling confident?
I would have lined people up ahead of time.
I mean, it's pretty dead on the high street, but we're trying our best. So, the next stage is going into shops and everything. That'd be our next stage. And I've got a little monkey here who's been holding a sign saying, become a Reform member. So hopefully the children can encourage people as well. Yeah, but I think the most important message to people who's watching this, look, if you want Reform to form a government, if you want us to win all the council elections next year, come out and join us right across the country. Get delivering leaflets, please, because we need you. We can only do it with them, can't we, David?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Andrea. Thank you ever so much for joining me this afternoon. Keep up the good work there as well. Of course, Andrea makes a really good point there. We have to prove that actually we are strong in local government, because that's what people are going to judge us by in terms of actually then giving us their vote at the general election. So now let's take a look at how reform councils up and down Britain are changing things for the better. And with thanks to Doge seeking out the massive overspends and, of course, making those all-important cost savings, which can then be passed on to hard-working taxpayers up and down the land.
One of the things that happened when Reform was elected, everyone said, you've got no experience. These people have brought more than experience. They're not your traditional politicians. So in terms of the previous administration, what I think was the biggest problem with them is that they seem to be passengers in the process. I'm now seeing some of the salaries that we pay to various employees in different council companies, and I'm thinking, how did that happen? We're just about to launch what is probably the biggest efficiency review, and throughout that process we've focused on keeping those frontline services as much as possible. How do we guarantee that we keep residents at the front of everything we do? Well, we ask the question, does this improve residents' lives? And if not, why are we doing it?
Since the election, we've been reviewing the spending line by line to root out waste and find efficiencies.
We've been developing AI use cases to improve the efficiency of our officers and improve the delivery of frontline services.
In the Transport and Highways Department, we've been driving down the cost of home-to-school transport, and we've been doing that by using a new fleet of minibuses and transport grants for parents. This means we're not using taxis.
Working with the Doge principles, we can deliver for Lancashire. That's to deliver a balanced budget, to improve SEND, to improve adult social care, to improve the quality of our roads, and all the time do it with professionalism, courtesy, and a relentless focus on the residents of Lancashire.
And they are doing such an amazing job in Lancashire. I went up, visited them, they showed me their plans, the cost savings, what they're planning to do, how they're enacting that, and actually that is Reform UK in action, and that is what this is all about. So today, of course, our big action day, signing up as many new members as we possibly can to the party, of course engaging with people on the high street and actually explaining what our policies are and why joining Reform UK is so important if we want to save this once great country. Let's go back to Durham now. Darren Grimes joins us again this afternoon. Where are you now, Darren?
I'm in the Davy Lamp in Kellow, David, where actually we've established the very first County Durham Reform pub, and it's a wild success here. Actually, I have taken the liberty to have myself a little pint, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But we actually are encouraging people to sign up though, David, and one of those priorities of reindustrialising Britain is so incredibly important to people here. We did have a lot of industry in which men were proud to make things with their hands. And net zero has really put a kibosh on that. Now, there are loads of flags in this room around me today, David, and one of the first acts that we did in County Durham was to remove the pride flag from Durham County Council. And for doing that, David, I was told I was homophobic by the Lib.
Everyone see that you're getting arrested now for flying that flag or the Christian flag in England. They can literally arrest you for flying that flag because it might be hateful. Flying their own country's flag or the Christian flag.
Dems, and I'm sure that'll be news to the great and good doctor there back in London. Now, I'm joined right now by Councillor Robert Potts and indeed Christine. And Councillor Potts is a former copper who I think has been somewhat disgraced by a leaflet that the Joyless Allen, she's called Joy Allen, by the way, the Police and Crime Commissioner up in this part of the world, she put out a leaflet promoting immigration.
Well, I mean, it's just a distraction technique, Darren, that's all it is. If you're running a police force like County Durham and you've run down the reserves to the point where you're practically bankrupt as a county, then what are you supposed to do if you're the Labour Police and Crime Commissioner? You've got no other choice other than to say, don't look at this over here, look at this over here. When she took over as being Police and Crime Commissioner, she had £36.2 million in reserves in Durham, and we're now down to the bare minimum that we can have. You know, the whole immigration thing in Durham isn't an issue for people of County Durham in general. Yes, I would say that people are concerned that HMOs are getting filled up in the local communities and things, but, you know, people will be concerned on the impact.
Forced on us by Labour as well.
Forced on us by Labour, and they will be concerned about the impact of those things on schools, on benefits, on our hospitals, all of which are on breaking points. And with regards to safety, you know, people are very, very concerned that if you're sat in a house and somebody in the house attached to yours suddenly turns up with 5 or 6 people, males, normally are fighting age males, and they're looking over your fence or they're moving in next door to you, what the impact is going to be on you and your family.
Christine, you're concerned about that issue as well, right? The homes with multiple occupancy is the technical term, and actually they're being forced on us by the Labour Party in Westminster. What have you got to say about that?
Indeed, it's so incredibly dangerous for our communities.
They're forcing people to take in illegals into their homes. Would you do that? Would anyone do that? They're being forced to take illegals into their homes.
Safety of our children and our women. And this we have no say over. This has been imposed upon us, and we have to find a way to oppose all of it. This country of ours has gone downhill so quickly in recent years, and we need to find back to save our communities, save our lifestyle, save our societies. Thank you so much.
I agree, Christine. Well said, very well said. And there are a load of, from Bishop Auckland in the south of the county up into the north in areas like Stanley. There are action days taking place, stalls all over the place, which are signing people up. So I'm hoping County Durham is going to do you proud as well down there in Westminster, David, because actually I think what we're hearing is that people are so very, very fed up and are really quite disheartened by the fact that their ancestors who were down the mines or fought in what various wars are now actually seeing that rich inheritance of ours utterly squandered, David. And it's heartbreaking to see. That's why I really do encourage so many people to get involved in this movement, even if it does just mean signing up as a member, because it means that more councillors will be elected, because we have more ability.
Now, the day before yesterday, I did part of this, and I was showing where they're taking boats and they're going out into the canal between France and England, and they're picking them up before they cross into the borderline for England across the canal, and bringing them into England when they're supposed to be getting more illegals out. And the government is actually helping bring more in.
And resource to campaign for people to see more Durham County Councils replicated up and down the country, David. So thank you very much to everything that you are doing down there in Westminster.
Darren, thank you ever so much. Do you know, it's amazing. I'm going around the country speaking to all sorts of meetings, actually, whether it's in working men's clubs or in pubs, all sorts of venues. And the response is the same wherever I am in the country. People all agree that this is the last chance saloon, that we are the only party that can save this country. And that is pretty ubiquitous. It doesn't matter whether I'm in Wales or in Scotland or in East Anglia, in the Midlands, in Durham. It doesn't matter. The message remains the same. And that is why we are seeing this enormous response to our membership drive. Let's just look at those numbers. We started this morning at 262,000 members, pretty much bang on. I can tell you that since we've been on air, what's that, only 49 minutes, we have added another 858 members. Now, I've never seen anything like this in my time in politics. You can see the total number there now at the bottom of your screen. 262,858 members. That is amazing. Thank you ever so much to everyone who is joining. Our mission is critical. Let's also now look at the branches themselves. I keep saying that actually I want to see how each branch is doing around the country. We have a leadership board. As I said, we've got £5,000 which is going to be given to the best performing branch. Let's start there at number 5. Normanton and Hemsworth there have signed up 14 members. In third place, Blackpool and Fleetwood. Amazing, 15 members already. Brentwood and Ongar in sunny Essex, that's 18, I think, they've signed up already. Calderdale, sorry, at 23 new members, but way out in front on the south coast. Portsmouth.
Yesterday, Greg was with me, and we were talking about all the illegal truck drivers. And the one thing I didn't bring up is, you know, there's thousands and thousands of truck drivers with CDLs, but they've also put illegals here with driver's licenses too, so that's making the roads more dangerous too. So there's thousands of them as well.
Portsmouth North and Portsmouth South, they've signed up an astonishing 69 members so far. In fact, actually, very interestingly, they've been ahead of the game from the word go. They literally were out on the streets signing up members from the minute that we started. Well, joining me now, I'm delighted to say, is the leader of Kent County Council, of course, a Reform UK-controlled council, Lyndon Kemp-Carran. Very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, David.
Now, don't shout at me, because obviously you have made the press. I mean, it is extraordinary. I was doing all these interviews throughout the week, and of course that Zoom meeting was leaked. Lots of people have said, oh, well, Kent County Council has lost control. What I saw was strong leadership.
Thank you, David. That's what I'm all about. I was elected to be leader, and looking back, I think I even used the F word in my pitch to become leader. So clearly,
Tennessee was giving
my
out
members
free licenses?
don't mind that in the main. They
Just to get
wanted
them to
somebody
vote, huh?
who was going to be very straight talking, very honest,
would think,
and very forthright. I don't muck about. If I'm happy, they know it. If I'm not happy, they also know it. That's who I am. That's what they voted for. That's what they've got.
Well, I also think actually the press don't really understand the pressure that you're under, because you are dealing with such an enormous budget. The stakes are incredibly high. You have to deliver for the constituents. We have said we are going to use Doge. We are going to get these cost savings across the board, that we are actually going to keep the reduction or keep your council tax as low as you possibly can. The problem that you've got, and that councils around the country have got, is there are big...
The taxes are high because they're supporting a lot of illegals.
Big variables in that, and I think the elephant in the room is social care. Personally, I think that really in many ways needs to come out of the council budget, because obviously we have an increasingly ageing population. It's incredibly difficult to work out how on earth we deal with that increasingly ageing population and how we actually look after older people in society.
There's no magic bullet, is there? And I think what we've seen is successive prime ministers promise on their manifestos that they're going to get a group of adult social care, because everybody knows, as you've just outlined, it's a problem that's only going to get worse and worse. So governments know it.
It seems like they're bringing all the legals into Christian nations. They're taking down Christianity, I think. That's what they're trying to do.
But because there is no easy solution, guess what? They kick the can down the road because they put the onus on the local authorities to fund it, and that's what's happening at the moment.
So I was doing Good Morning Britain this week, and the accusation levelled at me, which is in riposte to that meeting that was leaked, was you have failed in Kent. I see it in a very different manner.
The news, I think the press in the last few weeks, because we had the leak about a conversation was overheard between two of my cabinet members on a completely unrelated event. They were having a bit of a chat back and forth about council tax and adult social care. That was presented as fact, that Kent County Council is going to put up council tax. What a load of nonsense. I've been a journalist for over 20 years. That should not form the basis of an entire story, but because people leap on any bit of potential bad news around a Reform Control Council, it grows legs and off it runs. But it is completely ridiculous.
Does that show the level of desperation to pull us down?
Yes, it absolutely does. And my members in Kent, we've been feeling it from day one. I warned them the press scrutiny was...
I'm playing part 2 now because I started on Saturday and it crashed. So I'm playing the second half of this, or a little more than half, two-thirds of it. Because Gregory wanted to come on yesterday and talk about the truckers, CDLs and stuff like that. It was actually a very good video about that.
Going to be intense, and it has been from day one, and it is continuing. I would say it's getting even worse, because what we found in recent days, people are putting in FOIs about the most bizarre subjects. They are looking for any chink in our armour, and I'm afraid that leaked video was a gift to our opponents. Somebody leaked it from within my own team. We know who it was. That will all come out next week. But it's it's just ridiculous, because what it does, it hands our opponents the mud they want to sling at us. But do you know what, David? It's not put any of us off. It's made us stronger.
Well, I think there's something else really important here, because your team is only as strong as the weakest link in that team. It is a highly pressurised environment. You know, having been to Kent, having been to Lancashire, having been to others, it's so difficult to do. But one of the other things I'm trying to recruit is people to become
That's how they get their foot in the door.
What would be your message to people who think, actually, I do want to get involved? Is it rewarding?
It is the most rewarding job I have ever done. Yes.
Do you see in Japan, they're actually shipping people that came into the country out? She's going Trump 101 there. I think it's a good deal.
Pressure is on. I'm the leader. Obviously, I have more pressure than most. But I think if you talk to any of my members, they would say what an utter privilege it is to get up every day. You go to meetings, you meet residents, you fix their problems, you make life better for the people that you serve. I mean, there is no more rewarding job.
No.
I said it a little bit earlier, John, but you know what I forgot to mention is, you look at all the CDLs they're giving out. What about all the illegals driving in the country that don't know how to drive and they've given license to? I bet you that number's a lot even higher than that are driving, and it's scary.
Quite. And just in terms of that, we obviously saw the leak meeting. You know who it is now. On the whole, though, the camaraderie is there, the teamwork is there?
Absolutely, because this was a very, very small number of people who were unfortunately working together for their own ends, because, you know, probably one of them would like to be leader and they're not. But it's unfortunate. what it's done, it's knocked the confidence of my group, but it has made us stronger. I have the absolute undying loyalty of the vast majority of my group, and this week they've gone out of their way to show it to me, and I've had phone calls from all of them asking me if I'm okay, because it has been a very pressurised week. So I've taken my time to reassure them. Absolutely fine. Nothing has changed. The show goes on.
I mean, it is extraordinary. The more mud they throw at us, the more our membership numbers go up. What does that say?
I think it says that people out there know what's going on. They don't trust the mainstream media anymore. They know that if they listen to the BBC or they watch Sky, they're probably not getting the unvarnished truth in the way that maybe we would have done 15, 20 years ago. Something has changed. The narrative of this country has been going in a certain direction, and I think the ordinary person in the street, of which I count myself as one, we can see that things aren't as they are reported. We've had the BBC telling us that men can change into women, for goodness sake. I mean, people know we're being fed a whole load of baloney a lot of the time.
And I think underpinning our ethos generally is common sense, and that is what people are saying as they sign up to become members, is we're the only party that actually says it as it is. I get told all the time, and this is true of Nigel as well and the rest of our front bench team, which is actually, we answer the question.
Yeah, we do answer the question, and that's why I've got a reputation in Kent and now probably the rest of the world, I don't know.
Well, you're very famous.
For all the wrong reasons, sadly. For being super direct, because you cannot shy away from confronting the elephants in the room. I do it in the council chamber, I do it in interviews, I do it when I'm talking to residents. They love it.
Do you think that's our USP, that actually we tell the truth?
Yeah, I think it is, and people really appreciate that, because they've had politicians in front of them for too long who will say what they think will get them elected. We don't do that. We say the uncomfortable things, we address issues, we talk about things that other people might find uncomfortable, and it drives our opponents mad, because for so many years they've been able to shut us down by calling us names. They call us racists, they call us bigots, they call us xenophobes, they call us transphobes. We've had all that slung at us at Kent, but you know what, we know we're none of those things. We're confident in who we are, and we just carry on. Drives them wild.
Love that. Lyndon, thank you ever so much for the moment. So from Kent, let's go to the other end of the United Kingdom now. Let's go to Scotland. Graham Simpson joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Graham.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very well indeed. What's going on in Scotland?
It seems like southern England is where they have the heavy accent.
At the moment, it's quite windy, so I'll probably struggle to hear you, but I've got a good band of volunteers just behind me. There they are, hardy bunch. We've had a street stall here. It's been going very well, and we've had people out and about, round the doors, delivering leaflets, chat to voters. And of course, you remember there was a by-election here in Hamilton where we did very well. So generally, it's been good. It's been going okay today. We've signed up some members. There's a lot of support here.
I mean, we are doing very well in Wales, as we saw. We had the Caerphilly by-election. We're polling across the board at 28% in Wales. In Scotland, the last time I looked, we were polling at 22, 23%. I mean, these are amazing numbers for Scotland.
Yeah, the numbers, David, are very encouraging. As you know, I'm the only MSP we've got at the moment, but next year, when we've got elections in Wales and here in Scotland, we're hoping to do extremely well. My ambition, well, it's limitless really, but it would be great if we could come second here in Scotland. That's not impossible. We'll need to just keep going. Sorry, I've got some dogs in the background. But hopefully they've gone. That's live TV for you.
I haven't seen it as much at the gas.
But no, I think I'm very encouraged by the picture here.
And just very quickly, if I may, what are the biggest issues that you are coming across on the doorstep in Scotland? What are people saying to you?
The number one issue here is the state of the health service, which of course is devolved. So very different from in England. Probably the same sort of issues. People can't get to see a GP. The waiting lists are far too long. And next year, the SNP will have been in government for 19 years. This is entirely their responsibility. So I think, next year, our message has to be, how we are going to improve the lives of people in Scotland. The number one issue being the health service.
And of course, that sort of puts the nail in the coffin of independence. It actually shows that a devolved administration cannot deliver on matters that are intrinsically important to people in this country, in this great United Kingdom. And as you say, health is right up there. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
To get more illegals and bring them in.
Yeah. That's absolutely right.
When their lip services, so they're going to deport
we're not healthy. We don't have anything. But health is linked to all kinds of things. Education as well, that's also devolved. Housing, that's also devolved. Everything is interconnected. So, as you know, David, when I spoke at the conference in Birmingham, I was talking about these issues and talking about how next year in Scotland we need a recovery government, recovery from 19 years of SNP misrule. So that's the challenge. And I'll be working with colleagues. I've got some great colleagues in Reform here in Scotland. I'll be working over the next few weeks and months to come up with a package of policy proposals that will show the people of Scotland that we're serious about improving their lives.
And Graham, just in terms of today, we're giving away a £5,000 cash prize to the branch that signs up the most number of members. Is this going to be a Scottish victory?
Well, it would be nice if it was. We have signed up some. I'm not saying we're going to be in the lead, but we're doing our best. And I think we've got a stall out in Glasgow as well. Probably other parts of Scotland. So you never know. Could be a Scottish victory.
It could indeed, and I'm being shown this flashing sign on the screen next to me showing £5,000 to the branch that signs up the most number of members. Graham, really good to talk to you. I wish you a great deal of success up there in Scotland. I've been up there, I've been campaigning up there. You're doing an amazing job, so thank you ever so much.
It's more than dollars, right?
Well, I became chairman of the party some 4 months ago, and since then I have been out on the road across the country. As I said earlier, I've spoken in working men's clubs, also in bars, and in all manner of venues. In fact, I have seen over 5,000 people in that time. This week alone was Liverpool and then Walsall and back in London. What I can tell you is it's been exhilarating, it's been utterly exhausting, but it has been ultimately rewarding. Let's have a look. I'm Dr. David Bull, I'm chairman of Reform UK. I've had a very different backstory. I'm a medical doctor by training, and I've worked for 30 years in television. I've been involved in politics really for many years, but I became a Brexit Party MEP in 2019. I was then deputy leader of the party, and now I'm really proud to say I'm chairman of the party. And so I suppose my passion for politics has always been about fairness. This is about ensuring that people get access to healthcare, that we keep the NHS free at the point of need, but at the same time actually improve the service so people get really good outcomes. And so they are better than we are currently seeing, where we are falling far behind Europe. So for me, it's all about fairness. It's about putting British people first. It's about reinvigorating this great country and putting great back into Britain. I've been on a very long political journey. In 2019, I became a Brexit Party MEP, and one of the proudest moments of my life is voting for Brexit, carrying the Union flag out of the European Parliament. We got on the Eurostar, we took the Union flag back to where it belonged. It's extraordinary to be part of political history. I've no doubt about that. There's something inside that says this is a semblant moment in British history. This is the moment when politics changed for good. I've never felt anything quite like this. I know we're on a mission. I can feel it. I can sense it whenever I go outside and talk to people. People are desperate for change. They're tired of the two-party system, and they believe that Reform UK can deliver it, and we are going to prove them right. And the next step for us is to show the public that we are ready, we are competent, we are going to form the next party of government, and we are going to smash the political system. Britain needs reform. Wow, what a roller coaster, and how I've aged, I think you can say from that VT. We're doing really well, actually. Thank you ever so much for everyone who is signing up members around the country. Now, also as chairman, as you know, I've given every single branch a chip and pin machine to enable you to sign up members to actually facilitate that transaction. Now, as I said, £5,000 to the branch that comes first, but I suddenly thought, well, maybe we need to up the stakes even more. So we are going to change the rules slightly. For the branch that comes second, we're now going to give you a £2,500 cash prize, and for the branch that comes third, you will get a £1,000 cash prize as well to your branch. So it is all to play for, so do not give up. Right, on that note, let's pop down to the South Coast now to see how Jeremy is getting on. JK?
You know what, mate? There's earning your money and there's earning your money. I feel like a cross between Challenge Annika. Look at this. We've got the Union Jack flags as we head into Ringwood. Am I being pursued by the police? Are they going to arrest me? I've no idea, but I have to tell you something. Incredible response as you drive along in the Reform bus. People honking and hooting. We just stopped and a woman told me, I guess you'll know this by now, the new Deputy Prime Minister, is he? Thank you very much indeed. Lucy Powell has already done a first interview and said, Starmer's not done a great job, he's let Farage at it. That's somebody just told me. Loads of response. Freezing, but it doesn't matter because you can just understand. How are you? Very much loving this. Honestly, this is the most exhilarating day I've ever had in my life. Did I sell that to you? We're heading into Ringwood. We're going to... Actually, we could stop... Can you wash our bus? Can we get the bus washed? We'll be back anyway. We'll see you in Ringwood. Bye.
Seems weird driving on the
thanks ever so much, JK. You're now going to go and get the bus washed, are you? We're doing really well just in terms of the numbers of members that we are signing up. We started at 262,000 members this morning. So in just over an hour, we have got another 940 members that have joined the party. That is sensational. I don't think any other party in the history of this country has done anything quite like it. Now, if you're just joining us, this is the Reform Party Action Day. So today, we have 450 branches mobilised around the country. The gazebos are up, the banners are flying, and we have printed 2.2 million leaflets. They're being handed out by our incredible Reform volunteers. I think it is fair to say our Reform army has been mobilised. Let's have a look now at the map. Let me just show you where our members are across the nation, and we can do that here. OK, let's have a look here. So in the screen, you can see our branches down here near Bournemouth. That's where Jeremy is. Near Christchurch, we've got New Forest West there. Just scrolling up here, we've got Bicester. There, up near here, Coventry, North, South and East. Just look at the preponderance of all of these branches, actually. Enormous amount there in the North East as well. In Sunderland Central, in Washington, Houghton and Sunderland South, the city of Durham. We've got branches there near Bishop Auckland as well. And so it is literally across the United Kingdom. And, of course, London. We'll scroll down to London. Layla Cunningham joins me now. We will scroll down to London if we can. There we are. Look at London, which actually, traditionally, a Labour seat. But look at that. Actually, we are mobilising everyone around the country. And on that note, let's just have a look, if we can, at the screen showing just how many people are out and about this great nation at the same time. Let's say hello to all our amazing members and supporters around the country. Let's see if we can go and actually see that the big grid, which I'm hoping to bring to you to show you how many people are actually out and about along the country, but not at this precise moment. We're still showing the map there with the number of branches. Whilst they sort out the technical problems, let's move on and talk to Layla Cunningham, who joins me now. Layla, of course, is a councillor in Westminster here in London, and that's why you're so keen to talk about London.
Of course, always keen to talk about London, and I've just been visiting a few stalls across London, and I can tell you, David, that the response is phenomenal.
Is it?
Oh, surprisingly so. I visited my ward obviously first, which was my the Westminster branch put a stall up in my ward, and one of the volunteers said, I was a bit apprehensive. I didn't know what the reaction would be, but it's been phenomenal. And I think what it shows is people are just tired of being ignored in London.
And I was mentioning this earlier, actually, to Lyndon, which is that there is a sense that politicians never answer the question, that everyone promises everything, fails to deliver. And you can see that, particularly with the Labour front bench, when they're put on the spot. I remember Darren Jones in the Treasury just talking absolute nonsense about immigration.
Well, I mean, do you remember that interview when he was on with Zia and he said, you know, these are women and girls coming on the boat?
That's right, that's the exact programme.
When exactly, no, it is men. And I think they've tried to change the narrative. They lie about us all the time. They say we're going to abolish the NHS. Absolutely not. We're going to make the NHS way better and actually serve people and prevent illnesses. They talk about some kind of, you know, Russia thing, when we've been unequivocal. British safety and national security is number one. And Nigel was very clear that if Russian planes invade NATO airspace, they will be shot down. So they've tried to create a narrative that were not for the British people.
Yeah, and now, certainly when I've been around the country, it doesn't seem to matter where I go, but immigration, number one issue, both legal and illegal immigration. And I keep saying that in terms of illegal immigration, our policy is underpinned by three words: detain and deport. Nigel was asked the other day, would you put the Navy in the Channel? And he said yes. And do you know what? That is what people want. They want a Prime Minister who is actually bold enough to stand up for the British people to say enough is enough.
Funny you say that. One of the men I spoke to who's joined, he said, actually, will you be for the CHR? And I said yes, and I asked him, is that a problem for you? He said no. And he said, why haven't previous governments done that? And I said, well, no other previous government and no leader has had the guts to prioritise Britain, has had the guts to say no to foreign treaties and say we're going to put Britain at the forefront of our security, no matter what it takes. And you talk about mass migration. I mean, I feel it. We feel it in London. You know, some parts of London are unrecognisable.
They are. And of course, I think the other parties are so frightened, and particularly Labour, actually, which relies on a vote that comes from minority communities. I think that's fair to say, actually, propping up Labour, that they don't want to do anything about it. But, you know, I live in the East End, and the real East Enders, the people who've been here for a long time, that enormous sense of community, and actually they're responding by putting up the Union flag on every single lamppost, and the minute that it gets taken down, another one goes up. For me, this is about fairness. They see that this is not fair, that people who are coming here either illegally or indeed, you know, that are settling in this country aren't working. We know that even with those people who come here legally, half of them are not working, will never work under the Boris wave. And people around the country are saying, it's just not fair.
It's just not fair, because when you have... They let in 6.5 million people. 1 out of 9 people of those are on are on universal credit. We're paying for people who come here who do not contribute, who actually take out of the country. And that's economic suicide. All we hear about are taxes going up, and people have had enough. We want a government that prioritises British people and recognises that we're a small island and we're full. Public services are not performing as they should because they don't have the capacity to.
And also we don't have the revenue. As you say, if you have people who are taking out from the system but not contributing to the system, then obviously the system cannot cope. Just going back to Westminster, are you unusual though? Because Westminster has a skewed demographic, I think, when you compare it to, say, Tower Hamlets, which is the other side of London.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the most polarised constituencies in London, if not the country. You have very rich and you have very deprived communities.
And that's the bit people don't understand, do they? Because they think Westminster is very rich.
Yes. Well, I mean, it goes from Westminster all the way down to kind of Harrow Road and beyond. There are very large council estates, and like you say, a lot of people in those council estates who built this city, whose ancestors have built this city, who feel that they're not prioritised. You know, their child is number 400 on the waiting list for social housing, while someone who's just been here 5 minutes, doesn't speak English, gets to the top of the list. I had a resident who's a bus driver, and she cried to me and she said, listen, I worked so hard. She was a bus driver for 20 years. And she said, I can't afford a holiday. And because she's above that threshold where she gets any kind of council help, she says, I have to pay all my bills. But there's a family next door who's just come in, they don't speak English. They've got a 3-bedroom, fully paid flat and fully paid everything. She looks at me, she goes, how is that fair? And it's not.
Of course it's not.
And so I want a London that prioritises Londoners and the people that built this city.
Can I just ask you about Sadiq Khan? Alex Wilson is doing a fantastic job on the London Assembly, but Sadiq Khan is downright rude, actually, when he's asked questions.
Sadiq Khan basically takes London for granted. It's his little kingdom. And what he's done is he's run it into the ground. You've seen, you live in London, you've seen, I don't see any police on the streets. Crime is rampant. Everyone I spoke to today has either been mugged or knows someone that's been mugged. And I grew up in London, that was never the case. He's denying that there's any kind of grooming gangs. I have seen evidence that there is, but he's changed the terminology, so it's not called grooming gangs anymore. Him and the Met call it multi-offender child sexual exploitation. So when he...
What on earth does that mean?
Well, exactly. They're hiding behind terminology. The pattern is the same. The horrific abuse is the same. These girls are raped, tortured and groomed. And now the Met has admitted that they're going to review 9,000 cases as a result, actually, of the Daily Express's investigation. And I think there's a lot of questions to be answered. And London cannot let this continue. We need answers.
I feel very sorry for frontline police officers. Many of my friends are police officers. Under Labour, crime has been decriminalised. You can nick 199 quid's worth of stuff from Tesco or the Co-op and no one does anything. The frontline police officers are being stuck doing paperwork. The whole thing is balmy.
Yes, it's balmy. And I speak to a lot. I used to be a senior Crown prosecutor in London.
Yes.
And I speak to a lot of police officers. And what they tell me is, number one, there's a big recruitment problem in the Mets. Nobody wants to be recruited anymore because there's no respect for police officers from the top. And that trickles down to the public. And when I speak to the public, they're like, well, I don't call the police. They're angry at the police. They're angry because they don't respond, crimes don't get solved, and they don't see them. But that's not really the police's fault. That comes from the top because it's the mayor that sets the strategic plan for the police. He sets the budget for the Met. And he's actively deprioritising police. The more crime goes up, the less police we see. He's taking police out of all the royal parks, which was a safe haven. His manifesto pledge was to have police counters in every branch or every borough. That's gone. Police stations have been shut. And he's so focused on punishing motorists, that actually high streets are suffering as a result.
Yeah.
And criminals are getting away with it.
Can I ask you finally, if I may, just about today? We always do things differently in this party. We are very unlike the other parties, and today is a very good example of that, trying to sign up as many members as we can, spreading the word. Actually, I think it's also fostering that kind of community spirit of reform branches around the country. The response is amazing.
Oh, in London, it's been amazing. It's been invigorating, actually. I've really enjoyed it. And I was telling the people that organise this, we need more. Because, people want to hear from us all across the country. So when we have a stall, it's an open communication. And you say we are different. I think we are different because we represent those that have been ignored, right? And we are listening. And Nigel is the only leader that actually understands what people want. And he will do what people want, as opposed to other governments who just do the total opposite of what they voted in for.
Yeah. Layla, really good to talk to you.
Thank
you very much indeed for the moment. That's Layla Cunningham there. Let's head over to sunny Essex now. Jamie McIver joins us there. Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, David.
Oh dear. Oh, there you are, Jamie.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Good afternoon.
Dave, it's been a fantastic day here in Epping. Don't forget, this is a community that's really felt the impact of illegal migration, and this is a community that needs reform more than ever. And it's been wonderful meeting many of our members. I have to admit, David, we are a branch that it's an action day every day here in Epping Forest. And we're very fortunate to be in Epping on the border of many other branches. And so many people are coming up to us to say that we're already members and lots are going home to join too. And I'll tell you one thing, David, us being present here on the high street, it's giving people hope. It's giving people hope that what they're seeing in the news, what they're seeing in the polls is real, because Reform and the Turquoise Army are on their high street.
Amazing stuff. I mean, obviously, Epping's been in the news for all the wrong reasons, actually. There is a real feeling on the ground in Essex. I was there, actually, with you in Epping not that long ago. There is a real sense, I mentioned this right at the beginning of the programme, that this is the last chance saloon to, I hate to use this expression, but take back control of this country.
Well, of course it is. Reform UK is the final hope this country has to go back to being the Great Britain that we know and love. When we see our flag, we see them now on every lamppost in Essex for sure. We love our country, but our country is spiraling out of control, David, and it's not a case of in a few general elections' time. The next general election is the last chance we have to save this country, put Nigel into number 10, have a reform government, and to save this country. And as you say, not just taking back control of our borders, but taking back control of our entire country, rooting out the waste and inefficiency in government that we've seen in our own local councils, rooting out the woke ideology. We have people working in the civil service that are more interested in debating where the pride flag should go on a lanyard rather than actually delivering for the people of this country. How many more people need to wait too long for an ambulance? How many more people need to pay excessive taxation? How many more entrepreneurs are going to flee this country? It's time to save our country, and people realise the urgency, which is why they're joining today, which is why you're seeing hundreds of people join our party across the country, because people realise we are the people's army and this is it.
Very well said, Jamie. And on that note, I can tell you over 1,000 new members have joined today already. We started the day at 262,000 members. We're now at 263,018. So 1,018, Jamie. Your response to that?
My response to that is I think this man here is going to be very, very happy when he finds out about that news too. We have had a cardboard Nigel having selfies with many young people. And I'll tell you something interesting, David. I bet you, of those thousands of new members that we've had today, I bet many of them are young people in their 20s who are seeing how their future is frankly a miserable one unless Reform take control of this country at the next general election.
500,000 is the highest.
So, Jamie, just picking up on that note, that's one of the things that I talk about a great deal, which is when people say to me and to us that actually our supporters, our members are all older, that isn't true. 60% of our voters are under the age of 50.
Absolutely. I mean, today we signed up a member who was at university. He's down for the weekend. There are young people across this country who are hearing from their grandparents about how wonderful this country used to be. And they're thinking, why is my future not like this? You know, we have knife crime in this country has become normal. Here in Epping, we've had a 14-year-old schoolgirl sexually assaulted in her school uniform by an illegal migrant staying in a hotel just down here. People, particularly young people, are hearing and reading about this, and they are saying enough is enough. They don't want to have a country that's constantly in decline. So, David, anybody that tries to suggest that all of our members are old people, I'm sorry, it's just frankly wrong. But many of our critics, David, as we know, they don't like facts, because if they liked facts, then many of our comms would not have to be to simply rebuttal the lies that Labour peddle in the media, whether that's also what the Tories try to say about us. We know that, frankly, people that criticise Reform, they don't tell the truth, because the truth is Reform is on the march and Reform is marching to a winning victory.
I would agree with you, Jamie. And also, just going back to Essex, I was there with you, that amazing branch event you did. Sarah Pochin came and spoke as well there. There is a real sense when I'm in Essex that this is the heartland of the Reform UK movement. You get hooted, as you see just then. You know, all the cabbies are out in force in our favour. I get into a black cab and they just want to talk about Reform UK.
No, you're completely right. And actually, just here in Epping Forest, David, last week, we won a by-election in Buckhurst Hill, which is one of the safest Conservative seats in Epping. And Reform UK won. We had a double win electing 2 councillors. Essex is the heartland for Reform, because what Reform represents is common sense. And I believe that the phrase common sense probably came from Essex, because Essex is full of entrepreneurs, it's full of working people that get up in the morning, set their alarm. We've got something in us here in Essex where we really are both a combination of patriotic, hard-working, but above all, we all believe in common sense here in Essex, and we want a common sense government. There is nothing common sense about what is happening in our country right now, whether that's the stagnant growth that we've got, whether that's the fact that young people don't feel safe to walk the streets, pensioners having the winter fuel payment snatched from them, our British overseas territory being given away, in fact paying for that privilege too. Wherever you look, in government, locally, nationally, there is no common sense. And you're right, Essex has Our leader, Nigel Farage, is an Essex Member of Parliament. I don't think that's by surprise, because the people of Essex are right behind reform. And if they try to cancel our elections for a second year in a row, I tell you something, David, you're going to be hearing from the people of Essex, because one thing we've all got, and you don't need to watch The Only Way is Essex for this, one thing we've all got is a mouth and a pair of lungs and the ability to shout and have a voice. Essex people will not take having their election cancelled for a second year in a row lightly.
Quite right. You've got to love Essex. Thank you ever so much, Jamie, for the moment. Now, in his keynote speech at the Labour Party conference, Keir Starmer said that Nigel Farage was not a patriot. Now, I found that incredibly insulting, as many of you did as well. I don't know a more patriotic man than Nigel. He is a man, and let's remember this, who has fought tooth and nail for this country. He is the man that spearheaded the Brexit campaign. He is the man that led us out of the Federalist European Union. And Nigel Farage's determination to fight for you and for this country knows no bounds. And when he returned to frontline politics, everything, and I mean everything, changed. Take a look at this.
We have a chance of doing something really historic.
I came back into politics on the 3rd of June last year because I believe that our country has to be turned around. Because I said that we would get millions of votes. Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote reform, you get reform.
We have the conviction, the love of country, the courage to stand up and say, we are proud of our country. We are proud of its history. We will stand up and defend that to anybody.
Reform is now topping a national poll.
I've had some great successes in life. I've had plenty of failures. But what I bring to this now is experience. What I bring to this now is passion. I'm not afraid of anything. I believe that reform represents a silent majority in Britain. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
There's nobody on these issues of sovereignty, on these issues of national self-interest. There is nobody more determined than me. Can we make history? Are you going to be part of it? Thank you very, very much indeed.
Wow, look at the energy, the enthusiasm. That's what we do. Reform UK does things properly and with style. Let's go back to County Durham now. Darren Grimes, are you still in the pub on your second pint, are you?
I am. David, I'm on my second pint. I tell you, I'll be a new man after this hit, I tell you that. Now, I'm joined by two of our wonderful County Durham councillors and Clive, who I'll introduce in a moment. But Andrew Harrison and Kyle Genner are with me right now. I want to ask the two of you, as veterans to our great nation, do you think actually you feel proud to have served for this country, given the total mess it finds itself in?
Absolutely, and before I answer your question, I'd just like to say, as a former member and senior NCO in the Parachute Regiment, how thrilled we are this week that Soldier F has been acquitted in Belfast of all the charges that were put against him by people that just wanted to scapegoat soldiers. So first of all, I'd like to just say how thrilled we are. And secondly, we're very thrilled to be supporting and representing reform. As veterans, I'm the Armed Forces Veterans Champion in Durham. We're doing a lot of exciting and unique things in Durham, and we believe we're going to make a difference to the 23,500 veterans that are residents in our county.
Kyle, do you feel the same way? Do you think actually reform has the best offer for veterans? I mean, that question of feeling pride, I think actually that people like your grandfather, not too dissimilar from the images that are behind you here of an industrial heartland in County Durham, he wouldn't recognise the country today.
I agree, Darren, and I actually think you touched on a salient point there. The two sides of the same coin. Veterans, working class communities, they're synonymous with each other. Veterans usually come from working class communities. So I'm proud to be a veteran, and I'm proud of what Reform can do for veterans, but I'm more proud of what we're doing now in places like this, giving people who haven't had a voice for a long time the voice that they should have had and the voice that they can have going forward. So I think two sides of the same coin. I'm proud of both. I think we're doing wonderful work, and I'm excited we can continue to do it.
You were part of actually establishing this establishment as a Reform pub, County Durham's first. What is it that actually made you want to create a community hub in which people could talk about politics? Because they say you should leave politics outside of the pub, don't they?
Well, if you come to a place like this, you realise very quickly that politics is not left at the door. It's not. It's all we talk about in here. But why this pub and why this village? This village is called Keller. Just literally 200 metres down the road here is the old pit that was sunk back in the early 1800s. This is one of those places that has been left behind. People in this pub, people in this village, they felt for a long time like they haven't had political representation. And when you speak to the landlady and you speak to the people in this pub, they're so grateful that people like me are now engaging with them and giving them an opportunity to have their voices heard. And that's what it was about for me, allowing places like this to be heard and have the voices projected out into the world.
I couldn't agree more with you. And you know, the first time I ever came here, I was crossing this road and a bus driver stopped his bus, and I thought, oh bloody hell, what am I going to get here? And he says, go on Grimesy, keep on going. And I thought, oh well, there we are. We're in the heartlands of the Reform Party right here, right now. Andrew, I have to ask you, you were told that actually your contract, you had a contract with the BBC, and you were told after becoming a Reform councillor to sling your hook.
That's correct. I worked for several main TV brands over the last 4 or 5 years, including protection during the riots and a lot of disorder in the UK. As soon as I gave an interview with one of my fellow councillors asking for help for veterans in Durham, my contract ceased the next day, which I was absolutely shocked with. You know, becoming a Reform councillor is trying to help people, and I think I'm doing a great job in Durham at the moment, creating networks and getting a voice heard. We will not be suppressed, and my aim and my vocation at the minute is making sure veterans can be heard.
Well said. You know what? I think actually what this stream shows, and the number of people tuning in to support Reform on this Action Day, shows that actually we don't need the BBC. We don't need the lectures that we are forced to pay for through their coercive licence tax. So well said, Andrew. You don't bloody well need them, I'll tell you that. Clive, I've got to bring you in now. I'm putting you on the spot. You are the chair of this branch, a beautiful branch representing many patriotic parts of this county. Now, I've got to ask you, how many people have you signed up today? I'm putting you on the spot, I'm afraid.
To my last knowledge, it was about 248. We're doing very, very well. We are so pleased with the way that we're going. We're producing common sense, we're showing integrity, we're showing honesty, and we're showing the truth. And this is what I feel this country now needs, instead of what Starmer's produced in the last week. I mean, I can't understand how we could even steal the leader after the China thing, the children being abused, and it's just absolutely not amazing. I just can't believe it.
It is. Thank you so much for what you're doing, because actually I think what we're showing here in County Durham is that actually you can bring about change through politics. I think many people, David, have felt thoroughly disaffected and wanted to go into apathy actually over delivery, of actually trying to make change. Reform has given people a view and a voice for the first time in my lifetime. You know, I was put on this planet in 1993. What we've seen by then is nothing other than political treachery by the elites, and I think we are the first break in that link, and we're able to actually bring about change. So we need you to join Reform, David, and again, thank you so much to all the activists out there, not just in County Durham, but up and down this great country of ours.
Very well said, Darren. Very salient and very sage indeed. Darren Grimes there up in County Durham. Well, our Deputy Leader, Richard Tice MP, has been hard at work in his constituency of Boston and Skegness. He's just sent us this report. Let's have a look.
We're here in Chapel with Paul Sutton, our great candidate for the by-election imminently. Great start, Paul.
Yes.
Good reception. People are with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got huge recognition, lots of support. If you want reform, you've got to vote for it.
Can they save their country?
We're out and about. It's a beautiful day campaigning for Paul Sutton in the by-election. Thursday, the 13th of November. Getting a great response. People want change, and they want to know, Paul, that you're going to act really sensibly, work hard, and it's all happening, isn't it?
Yes, we're here in Chapel today. Hopefully we're going to meet some residents and push reform forward.
We're absolutely right, and we understand local issues that are real concern to people. People are furious about the waste of money on daft schemes, irrelevant virtue signalling schemes, but focus on what actually really matters. Paul, we're getting a great response, aren't we?
Yeah, everybody that we're bumping into seems pleased to see us, so it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and they know that as a local candidate, local person, you know what needs to be sorted in terms of the streets, but also a big issue about the local flood defences, and we've got to really battle on that. Incredible response we're getting here, Paul, and what a great spot. Sun's out, people are concerned about the flood defences, they're concerned about the streets, antisocial behaviour.
The Environment Agency are classing this area as a floodplain, and problem is...
But actually we've got lots of residents. It's restricting people's ability to stay here full year round. Some are, some aren't, but actually with new technology we should be able to change that. It just requires a more can-do, constructive, pro-growth agenda.
Yeah.
But what a spot.
I mean, that woman we spoke to a few minutes ago, I mean, she was in a caravan for 6 months of the year here in Chapel.
Yeah.
And because that's a holiday caravan, just to move out.
Yeah, but everyone here can stay here all the year round. Doesn't make any sense. Great spot.
Richard Tyers, a very hard-working man there. He borrowed my tie, by the way. Let's go to Boston now live. Sean Matthews, leader of Lincolnshire Council, joins me now. Good afternoon.
Hello, David. How are you? Welcome to sunny Skegness, if not a little bit windy.
Well, it does look like it, but look at that resplendent cab in the background, the Reform UK taxi.
Yes, I've nicked Richard's taxi for a few hours, and we're out and about speaking to people, getting people to join up. I think we're doing the work for most of the country because it's all visitors here in Skegness today, not locals. But nevertheless, they are still joining Reform, and that's the main thing. We're going to go on to Mablethorpe in a little while, which is part of Louth and Horncastle's constituency. We'll be up there knocking on doors and speaking to people up there as well. So if you're up near Mablethorpe, come and join us at the Eagle's Nest, where I'll be having a beer, much like Darren's just been doing.
Well, I think Darren's already into pint number 2. Just in terms of what people are saying to you in Lincolnshire, what is the most pressing issue in Lincolnshire, in Boston, Skegness itself?
Well, apart from the fact that everybody wants to know how we're going to get rid of this bunch of buffoons and have a general election, which is genuinely...
What is that flag right there with the green and the blue and the red crisscross thing?
The biggest question that I get asked
Does anyone
every
know?
single day. It's about things like the roads, and we've got the JCB Pothole Pro on trial for a year here in Lincolnshire. They generally are. I mean, our roads are in a dreadful state, and we need to get them sorted. So we're trialling all sorts of things. As I say, the Pothole Pro is doing a great job for us, but we're going to give it a year's trial to see how it is in that. They also know that we are desperately in debt as a county. We are over £500 million in debt, and we are working really hard to reduce that debt, to save money and get things better for the residents of Lincolnshire.
I mean, I think you make a great point there. The Pothole Pro, I saw that at the Reform UK conference when we held that. That is what people want, isn't it? They want to understand why they're paying so much council tax when the roads are appalling, the bins don't get collected, nothing seems to work, and yet all you do is get increments in council tax.
Yes, and they see roads that are temporary fixes and aren't being done properly. Well, this summer, Lincolnshire County Council fixed more roads than ever before under a Reform-run council, and that's something that I'm very proud of. We are genuinely out there trying to get the roads and the lives and the services that we provide for the people of Lincolnshire improved, and we've got 3.5 years to do it, and I'm really excited and looking forward to making it even better.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe the app stopped.
And if I could just ask you, just in terms of the issues that affect people in Lincolnshire, sort of on a more of a countrywide perspective, you know, around the country everyone is saying it's immigration, it's the cost of living, it's the lack of fairness in this country, it's the lack of direction from the government. What are people telling you?
So, yeah, all of those things. Actually, just down the road we're quite lucky. Just down the road, we've only got one immigrant hotel, and that is in Skegness. They are worried about immigration here. They're also worried about the wholesale destruction of our beautiful countryside in Lincolnshire by these solar farms. I call them solar farms, really they're solar factories. They're talking about changing the whole landscape of Lincolnshire, and crazy Ed Miliband could do it in his own backyard, not up here in the beautiful countryside where we grow food. And food security seems to have gone out the window as far as this government is concerned. And in all honesty, they should be ashamed of themselves. We grow wonderful food in Lincolnshire. We are the breadbasket of the country, and they are talking about putting thousands of acres of these solar farms all over this place. Then they're going to put battery storage facilities up here, a horrible scar of pylons to connect it all up. That is what is our main worry for people in Lincolnshire. They are being absolutely abused when it comes to the countryside and our wonderful, wonderful county.
And Sean, that's replicated across Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex, the insanity of net zero. Richard Tice did some numbers. He believes this is going to cost between 800 billion and 3 trillion pounds, and yet we emit 1% of global emissions. And also,
and you'll never get a goddamn thing out of it. They're stealing your money.
So what people don't seem to understand is the price of energy is pegged to the price of gas.
Yeah, and the price of energy is so important. If you want to get the economy growing, and that's what they keep saying, if you want to get the economy growing, you've got to have cheap energy. You can't build anything competitively if you don't have cheap energy. We've got, just over the other side of the Trent, we've got a step fusion project. It's just been started. It will be fusion electricity. It will be a fantastic project, but it's coming in a couple of decades' time. And I say, what is the point of panicking about a date, an arbitrary date that one of the former Tory prime ministers picked out of the blue to rush all these things through when we can get new technology like the step fusion project up and running in a couple of decades' time, and that will save us having to worry about solar panels everywhere.
Well, Sean, really good to talk to you. Keep up the good work. Get signing up those new members. That's Sean Matthews, there, Reform UK leader of Lincolnshire County Council. So we started, an hour and 40 minutes ago with 262,000 members. So we have put on now 1,108 members since we have been on air. Thank you so much to everyone who has signed up to become part of the fastest growing political party ever seen in British history. There is that big number at the bottom of the screen, 263, 110 members so far today. This is only just getting going. Of course, the day continues until, I believe, 5:30 tonight. So still plenty of time to play for. I wonder if we can just show you how people are doing around the country, because I keep saying that actually there's £5,000 up for grabs. It is amazing, actually, how well you're doing. A bit of a change there. Blackpool and Fleetwood pushed down into 6th place. Gravesham, I think, a new entry at number 7. Torbay, definitely a new entry at number 5 there, signing up 15 members. Then we've got Normanton and Hemsworth at 17 new members. Essex, coming through Essex there. Brentwood and Ongar, Jamie McIver will be pleased with that. 23 new members. We've got Calderdale there at 25 new members. But way, way out in front at the moment, down on the sunny south coast, Portsmouth North and Portsmouth South. Amazing stuff. Obviously, £5,000 up for grabs for the first place, £2,500 for that second place, and £1,000 now. I've just changed the rules, and £1,000 for the third place. So we've got reporters out and about across the United Kingdom. I think we can go back now to Jeremy Kyle, who's down on the south coast where they are leading the pack. Jeremy Kyle, over to you.
I did the bus journey. We're now in Ringwood. Make some noise, Ringwood! I was just thinking for you. Don't want to be sued. If you can't see what's going on in the United Kingdom, you probably need to go to... Yeah, see what I did. Right, Gimbal is... She's followed us. You've turned into a groupie. Talk to me about why reform for you is the answer.
Because I feel like we need change. And I feel like Nigel can do it for us. We've been watching all the time on the live streams, and we just feel like he can actually make the change that we need. We have a teenage son, and we're just worried about the way that the world's going. So we saw you in Christchurch on the live and came down to Ringwood. We're 5 minutes up the road, so we thought we'd come and support.
Is this your husband?
It is, yeah.
It is me.
Where's your son? That's what I want to ask. You just left it.
No, he's at home. He's almost 16, so he'll be absolutely fine, Jeremy.
On a serious note, because running around and finding from people and understanding what this means, why did you sign up? Why is reform the answer after years and years of the same?
I think if you look at things, it's been really challenging looking at the governments. I think it's the, how can I put it, and the mistrust, I think, is the actual honest problem. Farage and obviously Lee Anderson and Tyson and things of that nature, they're very truthful. They give you an honest answer, and I think for me, as the voting public, that's all they want. They just want the truth. And if they can't answer the question, say you can't answer it and give the reason why. Don't give a typical politician's answer of not answering the question. And for me, that creates a problem. So Farage, good luck to him. I hope he succeeds in the coming years.
And any tips for a successful marriage, 20 years?
I don't know. Flowers, just like that gentleman over there.
Yeah, he bought some flowers. Thank you very much indeed. Right, come. What's your name, my friend?
Vernon.
Vernon. Now, this is an interesting man, not just because of his jacket. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Conservative voter who said
Used
you'll
to
never
be.
vote. Why?
Never again. I don't like their policies no more. They're not honest. And Farage is going to be honest, isn't he?
When you say, when people talk about Nigel Farage, they always say either like he's going to save the world or he's a disgrace. Why do you believe reform is the answer? Why is Nigel Farage the answer?
He seems like a really decent, honest chap.
Time to give somebody else a chance, right?
Give somebody else a chance. I've had enough of every other politician in this country lying.
Good man. Well, we've signed this wonderful creed. Thank you. Nice to meet you, my friend. Are you? Where's that other? Oh, right. We're going back into Cafe Nero. I should have been sponsored by Cafe Nero, to be honest. This isn't even a joke. I'm looking for Linda. Where's Linda? Linda, I've come to you. Hello, sir. How are you? Looking for Linda. How are you? Had your tea cake?
It's lovely, toasted.
Yeah. You came out to us and you said that you and your husband and people you know really believe that reform is a game changer. Why?
Because we need it. This country's really gone down. It's leaving all the pensioners behind, hospitals behind, our heroes and everything. I mean, in Bournemouth this week, they've announced they put 40 pods up for the homeless. They shouldn't be putting pods up for the homeless, not when we are supporting all these illegal people coming in and putting them in hotels. It's not fair.
Do you think that it's about priorities and it's about believing and fairness? That's my word. It doesn't seem, if you've lived and worked in this country for quite a while, that you seem to get treated fairly. Do you know what I mean?
No, you don't get treated fairly at all in this country. I mean, when you see people that they don't know whether to eat or to heat the homes, that's not fair. They've worked all their lives. They've even fought for the country.
Well, I have to say, I don't know about you, but the way we treat our veterans, to me, is
It's awful. I mean, they're on the streets. They shouldn't be on the streets. They shouldn't be in pods. They should have proper homes to live in. They should have pensions to do it, instead of taking it all away. Like, I'm one of the women that was lost on the pension. I mean, this country owes so much money to the post office people, the pensioners, the hospitals, everything. Nothing's fair anymore.
What do you say to the people that say reform policies are it's just shouting from the rooftops? Because going around on a day like this, we've just been across the south coast, you just get the feeling that there is something happening. You really do.
Yeah, I mean, people, I think, are losing faith in living. Because it doesn't matter what they do, whether they work, whether they help people, this government's just take, and no give.
Absolutely.
Not fair.
Is this the husband?
Well, no. I've done that once before. Just the partner.
The toy boy?
Yeah.
You got a toy boy?
Toy boy.
How are you, toy boy?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Big reform fan?
I am, and I'll be signing up today.
Good man. What's your name?
Tony Janito.
So he's signing up. Right, thank you. Look, enjoy your tea cake. Everybody's having...
I love that. I love that. Hello, toy boy. I think JK's still...
You even say
still
boy
going?
toy instead of a toy boy.
Right, listen. So, on a serious note, across the south coast today, doesn't have to be massive towns, just a feeling. Lots of activists working really hard, lots of people interested in the message, and lots of people doing what we always talk about, which is making their thoughts, making what they think known. Really interesting, I have to say. Back to you, DB.
Thanks, JK. Really good stuff, actually. Amazing to hear from people talking about the issues that really matter to them. I've mentioned this a number of times during this broadcast, but immigration is the #1 issue for voters, and that is illegal and legal migration as well. Now, if you remember, of course, the Prime Minister Keir Starmer keeps promising to smash the gangs. We are sick and tired of hearing the same expression, and let me tell you, it has failed dismally. More people have come here this year than in the entirety of the whole of last year. And now it's got even worse. We now have the spectacle of the hokey-cokey. That is one in, one out, one back in. And nothing, quite frankly, is working. Keir Starmer has lost complete control. Now, Nigel Farage was the first person in this country to highlight what was really going on. He took to the high seas, well, when I say that, I mean the English Channel. He went on board a boat to take a look at the problem for himself.
Well, it's 5 a.m. We're leaving Dover Harbour on the very day when President Macron sits down with Keir Starmer to negotiate a deal. Interestingly, we're also 9 years on from Brexit, where we voted very clearly to take back control of our borders. If you try to do a deal with the French, where they will get the upper hand. Anyway, we're going into the Channel on this very day. We know of one dinghy that's launched already. We'll go and see what we can find. And it's the usual drill. A dinghy has left the French beaches, been escorted over by the French Navy, and if we turn around, we can see the Border Force vessel, and he's now waiting on the 12-mile line for the handover. Bear in mind, we've given the French 800 million quid since 2014, and still their Navy hands over migrant boats. It looks to be about 70 people in the boat. It's lying very low in the water. We've looked through the binoculars. The French Navy have now stopped, and this boat is right on the edge of French and British waters, and Border Force are waiting just behind me. It's interesting. We're literally watching one government politely handing over to another government. 78 people on that rib, one woman, 3 kids, and 74 young adult males whose identity we do not know. If this is not a national security emergency, I don't know what is.
And they're gonna all get free stuff. then they'll bring the rest of their family.
Do you know, I remember Nigel Farage being the first person to talk about small boat arrivals, and everyone ignored him. The news agenda ignored him. All the news networks ignored him. It's the number one issue now in the United Kingdom. It doesn't matter where you go, in Wales, in Scotland, in England, anywhere you go, it is the number one issue. And the government hasn't got control of this in any sense. And that is what people are talking about, the lack of fairness. The fact is, actually, if you pay into the system the whole time, you keep paying, and yet people coming here illegally get put at the front of the queue and are looked after better than our own people. That cannot be right. It cannot be fair. Let's go back to Darren Grimes now in County Durham. Hello, Darren. Third pint, is it?
Oh, David, no, I'm still on my second, honestly, I'm keeping my powder dry. But actually, we need to ask everyone, have you all joined Reform? There we have it, David, there we have it. And that's what I encourage everyone to do, not just in County Durham. We've got stalls up from down in Bishop Auckland to up in places like Stanley, and there's a real appetite out there for change. We need to get reform in government, and that means Nigel Farage in number 10. Do I want that? Yeah. I thought as much. But actually, what you can do when you get in power, David, it really does bring about change. And we've done that on a local level already. And I want to tell you about something that we did this week. Now, there's a lass who has been out today campaigning for a different cause. And it's a cause called Maya's Law. Now, we passed a motion at our council this week showing what we can do as Reform in power. And that meant passing a motion to actually argue that the government needs to look again at the safeguarding of our children, the most precious in our society. You were just talking there, David, about the small boats and the threat to children. Well, we also have a threat to children here, which is homegrown, and we need to talk about it, and that's what Maya's Law is all about. I'm joined by Gemma, who has been leading the charge and was the auntie of Maya, indeed. I'm sorry to ask you this, but could you explain a little bit about Maya's Law and why it's necessary?
Yeah, Maya was murdered in 2022. She was only 2 years old at the hands of our mother's new partner, who she was only with for 9 weeks. And essentially, there's mechanisms already in place that do protect children for sex offences, but doesn't protect children around child abuse and neglect. So we need a mechanism in place so that does protect our children.
So what does that mechanism look like?
So it looks like a child risk disclosure scheme. So if anybody has children that go to somebody that they don't know, that they're very concerned about, they can ask for permission to get a child risk disclosure scheme given to them. So if that person's a threat or a risk to that child, then parents or carers and his uncles and wider members of family can get that disclosure.
And if people want to support this campaign, I'm sure they will if they go away and read the story. It's absolutely horrific, and God rest Maya. But how can people support the campaign, Gemma?
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of social media posts. We've got plenty of posters out and stuff like that. But if you go over to our Facebook page, Maya's Law, we've got the petition pinned to the top of the page. So go over, sign the petition for us.
This is an official petition.
It's an official petition with the government. We've got 7,400 signatures right now around about. So we need to be getting them 10,000 signatures, but actually we need 100,000 signatures before the 5th of February. So we haven't got long to get them in, so everyone get it signed, please.
Get it done. And come on, Labour, you know the score. Get it done. Kenny, though, you're a councillor with me on Durham County Councillor. You're also a veteran. You know the actual change that we can actually bring about if we are put into power as a party.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can change our policies within County Durham to help safeguard our children, which we're going to do before the government put this into law, that there will hopefully spread across the country. That's what we want to do. We want to make a powerful statement. We want to secure our children. We want to make sure our children are safe, and we need to ensure that no child has to go through this going forward.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Gemma, thank you very much for that. I encourage everyone to sign that petition. But we're going to go to the rest of the room now. I can see Christine, she's on her second glass of wine, Christine. We don't hold back here in County Durham, I tell you that, David. But Christine, naughty as she is, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. Now, all of the punters here, hang on a minute. I've got one in particular I want to introduce you to. How can you see anything, man?
I can't see a thing, mate. I'm blinded by reform.
Well, oh, blinded by a love of reform. It's a love of reform. Hey.
Very good.
He's coming for my job, isn't he? He's coming for my job. Oh, wait, there we are. But honestly, we've had such a good response throughout the county, and I think actually it's shown that there is a massive appetite for change here in County Durham, but across the country too. Now, what we saw in Wales, you mentioned this earlier, David, but what we saw in Wales, I think, shows that we need to actually get stuck in. We need more people to join, because this country is in last chance saloon. You know, I'm drinking at this bar, David, but our country is drinking at the bar of last chances. And if we don't get this right as a party, if people don't support us and get stuck in, then I'm afraid that Britain is lost. And that's a message that we've got to get out there. We need a positive vision for change, and that's only something you're going to get from Reform UK. Am I right? Yeah! I thought I would be, mind. All right, David, back to you in the studio.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks ever so much, Darren. You can go and have your third pint now, doctor's orders. We have spoken a lot about immigration in this country. I'm joined once again by Lyndon Kemp-Carron, who is the leader of Kent County Council. It's a huge problem for you, this, isn't it?
David, it's the biggest problem, and of course in Kent we're on the front line, aren't we?
Very
We've
much.
got 350 miles of coastline,
and this is where the invaders, I call them the invaders, which annoys a lot of people, but I'm going to keep calling them the invaders because they're not invited, they're not legal, and they're coming all the time onto our shores in Kent. It's a #1 issue on the doorstep. When I was campaigning back in April prior to the May elections, it came up again and again. Now, people aren't daft in Kent. They knew they were voting for county councillors. We have no control over immigration policy, but what they needed was somebody to start making a fuss on their behalf, and that's what my members and I have been doing since we got elected.
And you've had this influx of illegal migrants through Kent. Where do they go? And also, what's the impact on the local communities? Because obviously, and what I'm seeing, certainly, and I can only talk about East Anglia, is that I'm seeing the high street absolutely rammed with people who aren't from this country, that don't speak any English, and actually people are frightened to go into those areas because of the influx of illegal migrants who are just left to roam.
Yeah, the problem is quite complex. We've got the arrivals that we know about, the ones that are picked up on cameras at Dover, coming off the boats, being escorted by Border Force into detention centres to be processed. But there are also the ones we don't know about. Now, we've got a stretch of shoreline around Dungeness. Now, that became famous a few years ago for residents seeing boats come up, you know, on a moonlit night. They'd see a dinghy come up the beach. The people would jump off, take off their life jackets and literally disappear off. Residents would see them running past their doors and windows. I mean, that's like something out of a book, isn't it? You couldn't make this up. So there's that problem. There's also the safety aspect. I've been very vocal in Kent County Council about the fact that we know now for a fact that foreign-born nationals, illegal migrants, asylum seekers are proportionally more likely to present a threat to women and girls. You know, they are proportionally more likely to commit sexual and violent crimes against women and girls. We know that. The figures are starting to come out, thank goodness. That's becoming talked about in the mainstream media. There are a few town centres and high streets in Kent where people no longer go after dark because it is full up with people hanging around. Because, of course, the government may have closed the asylum hotels, but where are they putting them? Because the numbers aren't going down. They're putting them into smaller guest houses, HMOs, flats, you know,
in the middle of
communities. Now, I've put pressure on the Home Office. I joined with my fellow Reform Council leaders to write to the Home Secretary to demand greater transparency, because the Home Office is sorting out all these contracts with HMO owners, guest houses, hotels. We don't get prior notice. So, they're
trying to force an early election so the Reform Party can win. And, you know, at any time they can call for an election in England. The party in power tends to do it when they think they can win.
We can't plan on a county level. We have no knowledge. Our residents are often finding out via social media, which is the most dangerous way of finding something out.
Or when enough pressure gets onto them to have an election. And they're starting to have pressure on them because they've been so bad since the Labour Party got in power.
Because you can't really fact check it. Tensions are running high. We've seen a lot of civil unrest in Epping over the summer, and it looks like it's about to start again because this chap has been released from prison early. Oh, mistakenly, sorry, not early, mistakenly.
He ran off, didn't he?
He ran off, exactly. So, you know, it is not a great place to be at the moment, and I wanted to prevent Kent from becoming little hotspots of civil unrest. So I wanted a plan. I wanted to know where these people were going to be put. And of course, we've heard nothing back from the Home Office.
Do you have any confidence the government will get control of this?
No, none whatsoever. We've got a Prime Minister with no backbone. He doesn't know what he believes in. We've just seen Lucy Powell elected as deputy leader of the Labour Party. She's just made a speech. You won't have seen it because you've been on air. She's just made a speech saying that immigration is not to blame for the problems we are facing in society. I might just say that again and watch the membership ticker go up. Lucy Powell has just said immigration is not to blame for many of the problems in society.
That is going to incense people around the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the people in Kent, I know, are probably throwing things at their TV right now because it is clearly to blame for a lot of society's problems. That is not racist to say that. It is practical. In Kent, we have a lot of green
Why
belt.
is she saying that? Why is she saying that? Is she saying that because she truly believes it? Is she saying it because she wants to somehow appeal to a certain voter? Is it because actually they have no ideology, no belief structure? And this is what I keep saying about Keir Starmer. He doesn't really believe in anything.
I think this is a problem with the entire Labour Party. We don't know what they believe. I think they are so desperate to try and win votes. We see them pandering to this community, pandering to that community. I have no idea why she would say that. Maybe she does believe it, which is worrying. If she doesn't believe it, but she's just saying it to get votes, equally worrying for a different reason. But, you know, in Kent, the pressure on housing is huge. We have proposed developments of over 8,000 houses due to go on prime agricultural greenbelt land. We know it doesn't matter how many houses we build in Kent, it's never going to be enough. We are always going to have a housing shortage because the population is rising at the moment by about 1 million people per year. Per year. We're never going to build enough houses. No matter what the targets are, we have to get a grip on immigration before we can do anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Lyndon, so good to talk to you. And of course, Kent, very close to my heart. I was born in Kent.
Were you?
And I can also tell you, Nigel Farage was born in Kent.
Yes, we knew about Nigel. We didn't know about you.
And in fact, Nigel and I were born in the same hospital.
No.
Yeah, and they knocked it down the minute we were born. Lyndon, really good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Lyndon Kemp-Carran there, the leader of Kent County Council. Now, I promised you more members of Parliament, fabulous members of Parliament. It's time to go over to Runcorn now, Runcorn and Helsby, to talk to the wonderful Sarah Pochin, a Member of Parliament. Good afternoon, Sarah.
Hi, David. I can't believe it's taken you so long to get your cameras up here in Runcorn, where we are at the moment, on this gorgeous afternoon. But we've had a fabulous day here, and we're still at it. We've got loads of our activists out on the streets in Frodsham and out here in Runcorn. So I've managed to pull a few together from their leaflet delivering and talking to members of the public, just to talk to you now in front of our gorgeous, iconic bridge. Look at that, lit up by the sun.
Sarah, if I was to tell you we started today, what? Can you hear me now? We started, a couple of hours ago at 262,000 members. We've now gone up to 263,182. So over 1,000 members have joined us. I think hearing about Lucy Powell, as Lyndon says, we're going to see that ticker go up. Are you surprised to see that number of people joining the party?
No, absolutely not at all. People are so desperate for change. And what's lovely about this constituency of Runcorn and Helsby, of course, is that we had the most recent successful by-election. And so people here are already bought into reform. I get stopped everywhere I go across the constituency with people saying, keep going. We've got all our hope in you guys. And it's great here because they've taken the leap of faith. They voted reform. They got reform in me. And already we're picking up issues that this constituency, run by Labour, particularly the Runcorn end, run by Labour forever, have never spoken up for people in Runcorn about investment, about jobs, about bridge tolls, whatever it might be. But now they know in reform they've got a voice, and people are just loving it. They're so behind us. We're getting more and more members every day.
I mean, Sarah, you are so hardworking. I know that firsthand. We were together in Liverpool 3 days ago. You also know more than anyone about fighting for votes. You got in with a very small majority in the general election, which I know obviously in the next election will be a massive majority, but that's not the point. And also we saw this tactical voting in the Caerphilly by-election. What's your message to people out on the streets, you know, just in terms of fighting for every single vote? I mean, you have to keep going until those polls close, don't you, at 10 p.m?
You absolutely do. And the amount of times I say to people, every vote counts. If I had £1 for the number of times I said that, I'd be a multimillionaire. But it's so true. We proved it here in Runcorn and Helsby. 6 votes we won by. But what important and historic votes they were. And do you know what? It's great in a way, because the amount of people that say, those were my 6 votes, that was me. But yeah, every vote does count. And in Caerphilly, I went down 3 times campaigning there.
So the Reform Party has been winning all the lower local elections, and they're starting to work their way up into a higher office
For the day, and that's exactly what I said to people. And I think that what's happened in Caerphilly, we were so close, we did so well, but people will realise that they have to get out and vote. Voter apathy is just not going to. It's not going to make a difference. If you want to see a change to this country, if we want to see places like Runcorn and Helsby have done and voted for reform and got reform, then you've got to go to the polling stations.
You certainly have. Just very quickly, Sarah, we've talked a lot about immigration. It's the #1 issue on the doorsteps, as far as I can see. It doesn't matter where I go, Wales, Scotland, East Anglia. I can be in Birmingham even, which couldn't be further away from the coast. But how big an issue is it for you in Runcorn and Helsby?
It's a massive issue. It was one of the issues that I campaigned on in the by-election. In fact, before I stood for reform here in Runcorn and Helsby, I don't think I ever really realised what an HMO was. And yet here we are now. I started talking about it through the by-election. I had an asylum hotel here. It was a massive issue that the Labour government and the Tory government before it had ignored. We got that hotel shut down here in Runcorn. But absolutely, you're right, what Lyndon was just saying. Those illegal asylum seekers then get dispersed into the community where they get lost, and no one has a track of where they are. That's what I'm dealing with in Runcorn for residents here. We have safety issues for our women and girls here. I talk to the police a lot about it, and it's a massive issue. It's a massive issue here as it is up and down the country.
Import all those men, you're going to get a lot of raping.
Sarah, you're doing a sterling job. Thank you so much. Really good to talk to you this afternoon. Keep going. Don't forget, we continue till about 5:30. You've got 5,000 quid that you could be earning for your branch as well. So we talked a lot about immigration this afternoon, actually, and as Sarah said, it's the most pressing issue there as well in Runcorn. Well, a few months ago, Reform UK launched our Restoring Justice campaign. The idea behind that is to deal with illegal immigration once and for all. It is underpinned, as I keep saying, by 3 words: detain and deport. Now, if you come here illegally, you will be detained and you will be deported. You will not be able to claim asylum. And to do this, we will leave the European Convention on Human Rights and we will pass the Illegal Migration Act. Let's remind ourselves of the day that we actually announced our policy. We took over a massive aircraft hangar at Oxford Airport.
Today we launch Operation Restoring Justice. And as far as the people of this country is concerned, frankly, these measures can't come soon enough.
There's little doubt that the United Kingdom is being invaded. In fact, more people have arrived on our beaches illegally over the last 8 years than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. A reformed government will ensure that the United Kingdom will once again be a proud sovereign nation with full control of its borders, one in which our country is secure, one in which our people are prosperous, and one in which Britain is powerful again.
And so in early
I'm thinking of tomorrow, early in the day, doing the whole Robinson rallies. I'm thinking of playing those. Let me know what you think. I was thinking of coming on like at lunchtime or something. Maybe I'll do it in 2 parts because it's kind of big. I don't know. What's everyone think?
2020, I repeatedly went out into the English Channel, filming what was going on, saying you may as well put a sign on the White Cliffs of Dover saying everyone welcome, and unless we start deporting people, I predicted this would turn into, and yes, I use the word, invasion. But 180,000 people later, what other word could possibly describe what has been going on? It is an invasion, as these young men illegally break into our country. But I'm afraid that the Conservative government did literally nothing. Smash the gangs was never, ever going to work. And even as we speak, there are French naval vessels escorting these boats across to a 12-mile line. This issue has become a scourge of modern Britain. If you come to the UK illegally, you will be detained and deported and never, ever allowed to stay, period. And we're the first party to put out plans that could actually make that work. The boats will stop coming within days. I am the only party leader that has been clear and consistent on this issue over the course of the last 5 years. And I have a feeling that what we're doing today with Operation Restoring Justice is going to be very popular in the wider country indeed. It is vital that we do this. There's nobody on these issues of sovereignty, on these issues of national self-interest. There is nobody more determined to do this than me.
Nobody more determined than Nigel Farage, and that is why he will make a brilliant Prime Minister when and if he is elected. We've been to Scotland already this afternoon. Let's go to Wales now. I'm delighted that I can say hello to Laura Ann Jones. Good afternoon, Laura Ann.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'd say well too.
Yeah, really good, thank you. We've got an event here in on the edge of Caerphilly today, celebrating our success. We might not have won the seat a few nights ago on election night, but we have so much to be proud of, and we're celebrating that today and looking forward to the next Senate elections.
Well, actually, look, the way I keep looking at this, we did amazingly well. Yes, you're right, we didn't win it, but we went from 1.7% to 36%. Now, you show me any other party that has that kind of meteoric ascendancy, because I don't believe anyone has ever done that before.
No, they certainly haven't. I mean, Labour were completely decimated in their heartlands. It was incredible to see. I've been canvassing here in this area for 30 years, and I never thought I'd witness such a swing to other parties. I mean, it's been crazy, and we've got a lot to build on. We would have got, if in the new PR system next time round, we would have got 2-3 seats on election night. And now, if we replicate that across Wales, we've got a very good chance of being in government next May.
Now, I'm totally convinced that actually it was that poll, the MRP poll that came out, 2-3 days before the election itself, that skewed it, because it showed we were significantly in the lead at 42%, Plaid was at 38%. We know, and I've spoken to people who tactically voted as a response to that, whether they were Conservatives, Lib Dems, for example, lending their votes. What do we need to learn, do you think, from that when we come to other campaigns? And also, there is something else to mention here. A by-election, people vote differently to a general election.
Yeah, very much so. Well, in the by-election, this is the last one that's going to be first past the post. They won't be able to tactically vote in the next one. They'll be wanting that possible one seat, perhaps, Labour. And then they won't want to be lending their votes out, and they won't be saying tactically vote next time. So that's going to make a huge difference to us. Plus, we haven't even released our manifesto yet here in Wales. We've got so much to go forward, and the trajectory is only up. Lots of people have said you've shown yourself now as a serious party in Wales. You're ready, a party ready for government, and you can be that change for us. So now they see us as a serious alternative, and they know that we're serious about taking the government. I think we'll get way more votes.
You know, as you know, I've been around the country talking to audiences across the country. I have to say, the response I got in Wales, I want to kind of say it's the best response I've ever had. I had a standing ovation before I even started.
We love you. We love you and we appreciate you. Do you know what different? Do you know how different it is to other parties that you guys in London and around, the top guys in our party really care about Wales. We've had everyone here. We've had Nigel. We got Lee Anderson here again today. We've had you here, and people are really caring what we think here in Wales, and caring that we get in next time, and caring about this part of the United Kingdom. And that's something that's new for many of us.
Mm. Well, look, I hope your event today goes really well. You're doing a fantastic job there in Wales. I will be back, by the way, for that famous Welsh hospitality. So keep up the good work. And, of course, I hope you do well in terms of the prizes that we're offering, the 5,000, 2,500, 1,000 prize as well. Really good to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
We've got lots.
Oh, she's gone. Let's go over for our final time to Jeremy Carl, who's probably frozen to the core. Jeremy?
I actually am not. You know what, DB, or Mr. Chairman, as you should be called? Fascinating afternoon. When you sit and you do what I do and you read all the newspapers, you wonder, this vibe that people are talking about, that's children, probably mine. You wonder whether it's true. Coming out the streets today across the south coast, Christchurch, the villages in between, and here in Ringwood, there is a real buzz. And I have to say that it's been fascinating asking people why reform makes a difference and what it means to them. And they're all signing up, they're all taking pictures, and the cars are bleeping, which is fantastic. So this is brilliant. Watch this. Sorry to disturb you. We're not going to where you want to go. It's the other bus. But anyway, there we go. So listen, to everybody who's come down here, thank you so much indeed. We're going to jump on the bus. In fact, we're going to try and do it. There is a very hard... Have you had fun today? Look at this. Look at this. We've got the three wise men. Now, I'm going to finish. Come with me. I'm going to finish. Let's head off. Come on then. Let's get this bus on the road. Let's head out of Ringwood. Have a fantastic time. But seriously, genuine comment. It's been fascinating to see what people are doing. Are we moving? Oh no, we've got a parking ticket. Back to you, Mr. Chairman. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Oh, well, you've done an amazing job. Thanks ever so much, JK. By the way, you still owe me lunch. I just thought I'd mention it here and now. Now, before we go back up to Durham to catch up finally with Darren, I want to show you some highlights from this year's party conference at the NEC. The energy, if you weren't there, I will tell you, the energy was absolutely electric. More than 5,000 of you joined us in that arena. It was absolutely wild.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, folks. It's there. It's in front of us. It is the light of reform.
More by-elections will come, and we will win each and every one of them. Britain, under Nigel's premiership, and based on our principles of family, community and country, will be great again.
It's incredible, the size, the scale, the energy, the enthusiasm, the excitement, the hope. Do you want to make the United Kingdom great again? Would you like to see Nigel Farage as our next Prime Minister? Then welcome him to the stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, conference. I really believe it's been the most incredible conference. The big word that comes out of it is energy. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the team. Thank you to you for all being here. I've had a fantastic conference. I really am honoured to be doing this job with your enthusiasm, encourage, love and support. And can I just say how proud I am to lead a movement like this. Thank you.
I mean, honestly, it was absolutely extraordinary. History in the making. I even have my own football shirt with my name on the back as well. So for the final time, let's go to County Durham. Darren is on his fourth pint.
John, that is the third party. The Reform Party is the third party.
Afternoon, Darren.
And in the polls, they're leading right now. They're either second or first. they're beating the Labour Party. That the Tory party, the Conservative Party there, which isn't really conservative, is decimated so far, and they're going after the Liberal Party now.
Afternoon, David. Good to be with you for the last time, you'll be pleased to know, because actually I think by the next time, David, things might be a little...
The new party is the Reform Party. That's been slightly around, 1 or 2% for, a couple elections. But this election, they're going to probably take it over.
A little more fruity and, not very friendly for the watershed. But look, ultimately, I think we've had a absolutely jam-packed day here in County Durham. It's been really great to see so many people so very enthused by what it is that we're doing, not just on Durham County Council, but across the country. And it's so important that we get that message out there. And you can only do that if you actually do join our party and give us the resource to be able to go out to the country and make that message clear. And that's what we're doing at this pub here. You'll be able to see just above me is the Reform.
They're kind of like the mega party here, as if the mega we had a mega party here instead of Republican, it would be mega.
Flag, make Britain great again. That's exactly what this party is about. It's what the people in this pub actually want. And Julie joins me now to discuss it. Julie, what is it about here in Keller that you think actually people are gathered around talking about politics over a pint?
Yeah, I think traditionally it's always been a Labour community, as a lot of the villages around here have been. But I think over the years, everyone can see the decline of the community, the lack of funding, the lack of transparency with councillors and government. And I think Reform bring transparency. And I think people just want to know the facts, be told the facts, and then be allowed to make whatever decision they want themselves. So I think that's the good thing for Reform, and everyone should get behind Reform.
One issue is that in our deprived communities, Labour, through Yvette Cooper, or what it was Yvette Cooper, it's now Shabana Mahmood, who actually is forcing immigrants on areas like this because there are more deprived areas and it means cheaper housing. I don't know about you, but I am sick to my back teeth of our communities being used as dumping grounds for Labour's migration problem.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, Keller's a very friendly, welcoming...
Did you hear what she said there, though? That they're forcing these illegals into the other areas for the cheaper housing, and they're forcing people to take illegals into their homes. Like, say you own a home, the government's forcing you to take illegals into your houses.
Village, as a lot of the villages are around here, but I totally agree with that. And we just feel that we don't have a voice anymore. No one asks us what we think about this. We don't have any say in any of it. And hopefully...
That's why this big uprising now. There's some rallies. I might play them in the next couple of days. I might do it in 2 parts.
We feel that if you vote Reform, that Reform will give us a choice.
Robinson.
And you know what struck me?
He's had some rallies, really big, huge rallies. I might play it. I'll do it in 2 parts. I'll probably play him tomorrow afternoon in the earlier afternoon.
Yeah, you go up there, there's a war memorial. You go down here, there are pit memorials. Actually, the fact is, in the pit memorials, we're celebrating the rich inheritance that's been handed down to us of industry, of jobs, of all these other things. The war memorial of what good people in County Durham fought and died for to protect. And I worry, especially when Starmer's banning votes taking place next year, because he knows that Reform would do very well in them up and down the country.
No, really, they'll come and arrest you if you do not allow illegals into your homes. They're forcing them into the homes there.
Did here in County Durham, that actually we're losing what people fought for and what people actually built in Britain.
And that's the lifeblood blood of the communities like this. This is what the community is proud of, our heritage, and what our forefathers brought to the communities. And you can just see the erosion of it. And like I say, we feel like we just don't have a voice anymore. We just totally disregarded. Our views are disregarded. And we just feel that a change of government is needed.
But now you've got a voice because you've got Reform UK. How much of a exciting change has that been to the political landscape?
Just phenomenal.
They've already used up all the hotels in that. They're forcing people to take them into their homes.
And even, like you say, you come in the pub, you'll go, I don't know, to the post office, wherever you go, even in the workplace, and people are talking about it more now as well. You feel you've got a voice and you feel that you will be heard
Brilliant.
by Reform.
That's the message. Cheers, Julie. That's the message that I want to get out to everybody out there in the whole country, David, that actually we are your voice. We will fight for you. We are proving every single day, from everything from net zero to DEI to whackery and wokery, that we will be your voice, your champions in local government and in wider government. So, David, cheers very much to what you have done in the studio, and I hope we're going to get many, many more members to sign up, because I reckon we've already beaten Labour, you know.
I think you're right, Darren. Really good stuff. Thanks ever so much, Darren. That's Darren Grimes there in County Durham. Let's now take a look at the live scoreboard. Of course, there are prizes up for grabs here. For the first place, £5,000. Second place, £2,500. Third place, £1,000. So let's just look at those. Wow, some changes there. St Helens now at number 5 at the moment. They've signed up 18 members. Torbay at 19 members, and they're in 4th place. Calderdale at 27. Brentwood and Ongar, very good Essex effort there, 29. But way out in front, they have been actually all afternoon. Portsmouth North and Portsmouth South, an amazing, I think that says 92 new members. That is absolutely extraordinary. Well done to everyone. And of course, that leaderboard will stay open until we close at 5:30 this afternoon. There's still a lot to play for here, and I think you're going to see a lot more movement in that table as the afternoon continues. But from us here in London, sadly, that is it. Time has beaten us. I have to say, it's been an absolutely cracking day.
So tomorrow, I think I'm going to come on with Tommy Robinson stuff. Probably around 2 in the afternoon or something like that. And I'm going to play it in 2 parts, okay? 2 in the afternoon Eastern time, okay? All right, God bless everyone. Go catch Rebel Chicks next. Bye-bye. They'll be talking more about this, I'm sure, over there. Let me get over here where I can end it. Thank you for watching.